It's time for the Matt Lecroy Show on Fox Sports 1460. Brought to you by the Holiday Inn Middletown. Now with today's show, here's Terry Byrom.
Matt, here we are towards the end of August. And this year, because of the 2 extra trips to Manchester, New Hampshire, which one of the 2 extra ones we're making day after tomorrow, the team is going to do about 8,000 miles on the bus this year. And so this is a complete part of being in the minor leagues that people don't really think about, which is they get to the ballpark early all the time at home. They put in all this work, and then there's this 8,000 miles on the Jim Hafer-driven bus.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of being a minor league ball player and coming up through the minor leagues, and you'd have to go through that the grind of riding on a bus. And it's hard as a manager to make that bus any larger. So if you come on any of our trips, you'll notice that people have to share seats. It's hard to sleep on those buses. Just a big part of the game that a lot of people don't understand. That's really tough on these young kids, and is that travel. And we try to put them in the best possible situation. Our organization allows some extra nights so we can leave sometimes after ball games. But unfortunately, most of our days that we go on the road, we leave the day of, and that can make it as an even harder day for these guys as they go to prepare for that night's game.
I haven't ridden on the bus much this year. My seat is better used by one of the players or 2 of the players. But invariably, I'll have fans say, or even people over the years that I work with, well, you can sleep on the bus. Well, I'm 6'3" or so, and even though I have 2 of my own seats, it's really difficult to get real sleep on a bus.
And there's no doubt about it. I mean, the seats don't really, recline back much. When you got a guy sharing seats, it's you're not getting much. You're not getting comfortable at all. If you come on our bus, you'll actually probably get a laugh. Guys spread out all over the place. Guys laying on the floor. People's feet on each other. I mean, it's pretty comical at times if you get on our bus late at night. But that's part of it. That's part of the grind to get to the big leagues, because we all know the travel in the big leagues is a lot different.
Well, the second part of the travel on the road is the getaway days. The getaway days, typically hotels require us to check out, just like if you go on vacation and the hotel has an 11 a.m. checkout time. So there's a 7 o'clock game. You got to check out of your room at 11 o'clock, and there's not a whole lot to do for 3 or 4 hours before you go to the ballpark.
Not really. I mean, hopefully we have places that a mall may be closed, or places to go hang out. A lot of them just hang out in the lobby. Waiting on that, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock bus to the field. But the getaway days are tough, just because you got to get up. You don't get to sleep in because you got to check out, and then you're kind of just sitting around waiting for that bus to go to the field. So a lot of people don't understand that part of being a minor leaguer, the travel, and it can be tough.
So now in the big leagues, I have a pretty good friend of mine that is the radio voice of the Houston Astros, and we've talked about the travel. But you have a bus, comes to the ballpark, and 2 buses pick you up, take you right out to the plane. You get right on the plane, and then it goes from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing, the difference of travel from the minor leagues to the big leagues. I mean, they take care of you from your luggage, all the way to you get to the plane. And then when you get home, there's 2 buses there picking you up. You don't have to deal with your luggage. You just get on and off the plane. People there to take care of your luggage when you get to the stadium. And a lot of the players, not coaches, but the players, their cars are already cranked up, and somebody's there waiting to carry them home. So a big difference. But the planes, you get more sleep. You got your own row. I mean, the food's so much better. They provide all that for you. So it's definitely an advantage. And it's, if you ever get to the big leagues, you can't never take that for granted, because that's amazing how well they treat you as a player.
Yeah, and there's no bus attendants on the bus, no food, no anything. And typically the way the bus works out, the first half of the bus feels like a freezer, and the back half of the bus feels like a smokehouse.
Well, I tell you, I'm on, being the manager, I'm kind of control of the temperature, and I like to have it cold I believe in bringing sweatshirts and jackets, because there's nothing worse than being on a hot bus, which I can tell you stories that I've had as a manager where everybody has their shirts off and clothes off because the air conditioning broke and you got to go for about 5 hours. So, a lot of stories that I could probably write and I should write about comical things that happen on the bus.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot.